This character is known for playing with fire, but will she create a brand new spark in the game, or will she simply go up in flames? Find out what's going on as I hereby invite everyone to join me on my adventures through Marvel Snap. Hey everybody, it's Annabelle. So we got a brand new card this week, and this time around we are talking about Firehair. Firehair was abandoned as an infant by her parents due to her red hair, as it deviated from the norm. She was rescued by a pack of wolves and grew up as a member of this pack. When she was 10, she discovered a child with one eye floating in midair, who spoke to her with his mind. Initially fleeing in fear, she later followed him out of curiosity, befriended him, and took it upon herself to raise and train him, joining his tribe without fear and reluctantly leaving her pack. Firehair had her own mutant abilities awaken just in time for them to warn her of an impending attack by a neighboring tribe. As her tribe tried to find the time and a path to escape, her newly revealed psychic abilities were completely overwhelmed by the fear and rage, and she forced her tribe to attack, resulting in the destruction of everyone save herself. She blamed herself for these deaths and was so overcome with grief, she contemplated turning her powers on herself. Firehair went out to be eaten by the buzzards, and as she laid awaiting her death, the Phoenix Force manifested and saved her. Drawn to her untapped raw psychic power, the Phoenix Force bonded to her and sought to use her to fulfill the intended purpose of burning the planet to ash. Consumed by rage, she nearly gave in to the bloodlust, but was pacified by the wolves who had saved her as an infant and decided to use her powers to protect those weaker than herself rather than destruction. Firehair is still quite feral, having been raised by a pack of wolves. She had to reluctantly leave this only family she knew to begin to understand her path. She enjoys teasing her comrades, and her wielding of the Phoenix Force is generally caring and protective. Everything she does is for the betterment of the world. But despite trying to use her powers for good, she possesses a love of combat and destruction, and will often give into the rage and hatred embracing in the bloodlust. Firehair possesses powerful abilities. Even before she became a Phoenix avatar, she could use her mind to affect mundane matters in any way she chose, and establish mental dominance with the power of a mere thought, along with the ability to move objects through mental concentration and other psionic powers. As the host of the Phoenix Force, she possesses the additional powers to levitate herself, to fly at immense speeds, and can generate extraordinary flames hotter than a supernova. Firehair is a mutant who had their newly revealed psychic abilities completely overwhelm her, resulting in the destruction of her allies, and almost gave up on being a hero until she was forced to bind with the Phoenix Force and decided to use those powers once more to help out instead. This is represented in Marvel Snap for when an ally that had a revealed power gets destroyed, she will have the Phoenix Force bind that power to her so she can use it once more. So in Marvel Snap, what this card does is a 2 cost 3 power with the ability that whenever one of your cards is destroyed, this will use that card's on reveal power. So it only works if the card that gets destroyed is on reveal. And it doesn't help if you destroy your opponent's card, just your own cards. I've been looking through this card, and I know a lot of people are giving this card a pretty big high ranking and saying this card might be broken. But I went through it, and I can't see how this card is above a 2, maybe a 3 on the star rating. Maybe I'm not seeing something that everybody else is seeing, because that wouldn't be the first time this has happened. But let me go through some of the stuff that I'm having issues with. So first and foremost, let's just talk about it as a pure power spike card. So just as a pure power spike card, you are looking at the same level as Domino. So as just a pure power spike card, it's not doing a lot. So my issue is that this card requires 3 cards to work. You need a charger card, like maybe the Hood, which is one of the best cards I can think of, and you need a destruction card. Any card that requires 3 cards is really hard to maximize. In the games that I play currently, there's a 3-card combo with Wong, Black Panther, and Artemzilla, which gets you 40 points in 2 different locations, and that's barely played. I don't know how you're getting 40 points with Firehair, a card with on reveal, and a destruction card. Because here's the problem that I'm having, okay? I'm looking at the on reveal cards that are the low cards. You're looking at stuff like the Hood. That's one of your better cards. Then you're looking at stuff like maybe the Cable for the Steel Effect. And possibly the Hazmat. Now, the problem that I have with this card is the fact that you need destruction. You need a way to destroy your own cards. Unless you have the Misery in your deck, in your collection, the only hope you have being Series 3 complete is Carnage, Venom, Deathlock, and Lady Deathstrike. The problem with all these cards, for the most part, is if you put down a Carnage and then you try to play a Venom, and the Carnage gets destroyed in any way, shape, or form, everything in the lane that Firehair is in will also get destroyed. Now, there is some way where you can basically play a path where you're basically going Silver Sable and then Scorpion and then Cassandra Nova and basically have this negative effect deck. The other thing I can see happening with this is basically you play it with a Hazmat, maybe with a Diamondback thrown in, and get that double Diamondback with the Hazmat power on it, making kind of a weird Wong situation happen here. But how many cards are you going to throw in your deck just to get this one little effect to work? And is that going to be enough of a power spike for it to happen? One of the best cards that I see with it is the Jubilee. Because the Jubilee will get a card from your deck, but then that you want to play high stuff. So it's kind of weird where I'm trying to figure out where the setup is, the payoff is on this. Because you want to play the Domino on 2 theoretically, or sorry, you want to play the Firehair on 2 theoretically. So you play the Firehair on 2, and then what are you looking for on 3? What's the Grand Master card that I'm missing with this? Now, there is some relevant hope where you can get locations like Death's Domain and Rickety Bridge Destruction as a big location in Marvel Snap. But to rely your deck on destruction itself is kind of asking for a lot. It's a space issue, it's a 3-part issue, And that's part of the problem. You need 3 cards to make this work. In order for the 3 cards to make it work, you want, say, 3 of the reveal cards and 3 of the destroy cards at the least. So if you're putting 3 reveal cards, 3 destroy cards, and Firehair in your deck, that's 7 out of your 12 cards. That's a lot of a commitment for something that might get you some points, and I'm not sure how it's going to get you the big points. Please, somebody tell me how this gets you 40 points. Alright, other than Firehair this week, we got a really weird lineup this week. We have Cassandra Nova. Cassandra Nova is not a bad card in any way, shape, or form. And it's kind of weird because this is the first card that we have showing up in the Spotlight Caches that has been a reward. This was the reward that you got for basically Thanksgiving. So the only people who don't have this card are either people who didn't play the event at Thanksgiving time for the first Deadpool Diner, or for people who actually joined the game after that event happened. And while it's nice that those people can get Cassandra Nova now, the issue that I have with it is that if you think that Cassandra Nova needs to be in more people's deck, move her down to Series 3, please. The last thing I want to have happen to Cassandra Nova is her be the next Jeff the Baby Landshark or Zabu, where she shows up a million times because it's an easy card for them to throw in a Spotlight Cache. And everybody gets kind of mad at it because they own the Cassandra Nova. I do hope that this is just some sort of weird internal bug, some weird internal coding where they have to put a card into Series 4 before they can ever put it into Series 3, and this is the only time we see Cassandra Nova in here. But I have a fear that this will be the next card that's every 6-7 weeks you see Cassandra Nova in here just because it's an easy card to throw in the pile. It's a dead card this week and doesn't help if you already own it. The other card that we have this week is Nico Memorial. Nico Memorial, again, is a great card. It's a fantastic card, honestly. The problem with Nico Memorial is that I think too many people view this card as an unbeatable card, when you should be viewing it as a tech card, a key card maybe in a lot of decks, instead of just a card that belongs in a deck. If you make the correct deck around Nico Memorial, she can do well, but you can't just throw her in every deck and hope for the best. Alright, so this particular week, if you wanted Firehair, I would wait, personally, till probably Friday, Saturday, maybe even Monday to see how well Firehair decks are really running, get the stats on them. And if you do want her, I would highly recommend maybe throwing the tokens at her, because the other two are kind of weird, especially Cassandra Nova. Nico Memorial is not that bad if you're missing her, but Cassandra Nova is really going to be a big bite to get off of this if you get this. We're still going to roll because this is how we make content, so let's find out what we got in our box. Box says Cassandra Nova. I've already done Cassandra Nova before in the past, so I'll try to figure out some other card to do this week.
Mastery!
Anyways, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, remember, play for fun.